For those of you that are listening in, let me just kind of set the stage here for where we are and what's in front of us. We're in my office in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's August and we still have a fire in the back, but we were trying to figure out, we wanted a little ambiance today. So we're warm, but hopefully you're enjoying the ambiance. I'm sitting in front of a camera that I asked Nate, I said, how much did you pay for this camera? And he said $250. It's sitting on a tripod, and he said that cost $10. And so the equipment that's in the room is basically a camera that's about 5 or 6 feet from where we're sitting. The microphone in the camera is basically picking up the audio for this session. And it's attached to a box, and this box looks exactly like this. In fact, it's almost identical. It is identical to this. This little box, it's called Boxcast, and basically it's designed for video streaming. Now, I watched Nate set this up. I'm not terribly technologically, on the cutting edge of things. So when Nate kind of came into my office, we tried this first of all on Saturday, and he set it up. He put in, he plugged it into an internet connection, which we have a high-speed internet connection. And then he placed here another cord, which you can't see obviously from the distances that we are. But he plugged in another cord. Pretty much that's all you did, isn't it?
There's the HDMI, which handles your video and audio.
The HDMI is this smaller. I know what HDMI is.
Yes.
I hooked up my television not long ago.
Yeah.
And I used that very cord. There you go.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yes.
Okay, so you plugged in that
and then
into a power, obviously.
Right. You got your power cable, internet, and then the HDMI connection in this case. So the box concept is trying to go back from something that is really challenging to do. Live video streaming historically has involved having a kind of a souped up computer. You have to have the right connections, special software to manage that, and almost an IT guy, it seems like, to figure out how to run it and actually get this all to work, and with the servers and so forth. And so we said, we want to eliminate all that stress and automate the process. So we got rid of a computer. We don't have to have a computer with software and worry about updates and other things that are going to affect it. This is a dedicated piece of equipment that you simply plug in. In this case, it's an HD signal, so that's why we're using HDMI. If you have a standard definition, which like your VCRs or even some of the DVD quality, right, is SD, and then we have an RCA input for that. It's a different box, but it looks very similar. There's an option of doing something simple like we're doing today, with very inexpensive equipment. To give you a good example of, hey, this is one side of it that the box will be able to work with, but this same box can be used for a very advanced system, multi-camera shoot with an advanced switcher board, audio mixing, and the audio could come in instead of through the HDMI. You can send it in through its own audio input here from a actual mixer, and the same thing with the video. Just take your output from the video mixer. So it's a scalable product, whatever size and situation you're dealing with.
And this is like solid state. I mean, I can throw it around.
Absolutely.
But I wouldn't. But
well, yes.
I could throw it around and nothing's going to happen.
Right.
No tubes are going to break.
There's no moving parts in it. Everything is embedded within the circuitry, and it has a cast aluminum shell here that you can see. It's very durable. The guys that I'm working with, not only are they great Christian guys, I mean, one of them I have grown up with since first grade, so best friends all the way through senior year, and obviously continued that relationship since. And great core guys, but then on the other side of the equation, incredibly bright. These guys are designing systems that are meant to run 24 hours a day in industrial automation equipment that can't fail. People's lives are at stake. If this thing goes down, there could be serious consequences. And so they have incredibly high expectations placed upon them, and with that they gain incredible depth of knowledge in how to build these types of products.
Well, it's really fantastic and lightweight and something that all of us could use pretty easily. You've used a lot of letters. I think I understand HD stands for high definition, SD standard definition. You have two different boxes. Mm-hmm. But before we talk more specifically about what it is that they can do, I've had a lot of conversations with organizations around the country, and we work with nonprofits, as all of our listeners know, on a regular basis, and oftentimes the whole idea of video streaming comes up as a matter of discussion. And usually the immediate response is, that's really good for the big guys. I mean, yeah, that mega church down the road, they can do that and they can make it available to people. But we've looked into it, and the cost could be $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. Yeah. And it's great for the big guys, not at all practical for us. Is that the case with Boxcast?
Not at all, and that's what
I knew the answer.
Yes,
to the question.
Exactly. We're so excited to be able to figure out a product that we can take, to the mainstream. It doesn't require a massive investment. We try to come up with a plan that is monthly based, for a low monthly cost, depending on church size, that is straight in line with standard CCLI licensing for music and so forth, for Christian music and worship songs and that sort of thing. We have a very similar structure for how we charge, and it's just a monthly rate, very low cost, and it doesn't require that a huge initial investment to buy all this infrastructure and then have IT staff and support staff. It's all automated, and we're extremely excited to be partnering here with BGW on this venture, because we've got a great piece of technology, but we don't have the kind of network, and so we've decided, man, these guys have, obviously everyone watching today, and the kind of expertise in knowing what you guys need, and they looked at us and said, hey, this might be a product that might be of value, and so we're extremely excited to be involved.